Hi friends, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. Today is February 5th, 2014. Time for our daily chart review session. Basically in this session every day at around 8 a.m. New York time, a little after that. We'll start usually between somewhere between 8 and 8:15 New York time, or that's 1 and 1:15 GMT. I share a review of the daily charts I'm looking at, about 20 some currency pairs, as well as the trades I'm placing. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I like to do, as those who've been watching these videos know, is start with the trades that I have on at the moment and see if there's any action that needs to be taken there. Right now, I have 4 positions that are filled, so that also impacts our analysis for today because 4 positions that are filled, and just one second here. Okay. Um, Just one second here. Okay, I have 4 positions that are filled, and only one at the moment is at break even. So that means that limits my risk tolerance. Basically, 4 positions on, I'm risking 0.25% on each one, but one of them's at break even. So if I have 3 positions on, I'm risking 0.25% on each one. That means my risk is I'm exposing 0.75% of my account. I don't like to risk more than 1% of my account. That's my rule. So that means I have a 0.25% that I can risk, 0.25%, to use. So that's one trade basically. Now, actually, I'm most likely going to move, and we're looking at now Kiwi dollar to break even. So that will give me another 0.25%. So then I'll have 0.5%. So potentially 2 trades. But that's one of the reasons why I like to start by looking at the trades I currently have on the market, because that will influence whether I want to add to those or how much risk tolerance I have before looking at new trades to put on. Okay. So here, now this dashed gray line is the level to watch because we want a huge day up. I'm almost tempted to take some off the table here, but our target is that green line. So we're staying with the range. That's clearly our target. Let's see if there's something else that comes up to alter that analysis. Maybe it'll come back down and hit this range. That's sort of the price of these type of trading. I might actually lower. There we go. I think I will actually lower my target a little bit to 83.75, and I'm going to move my stop to break even because we closed above 81.53. That was my cue that once we close above there, I can safely move to break even. So let me actually do that now. And break even is 80.90, basically 80.92 actually. So I can move my stop to 80.92. And I will just modify my target to 83.75. I think that's a more accurate resistance level. Okay. So there we go. That is that. Okay, so now my stop is on break even there. Another trade I have on at the moment is Aussie yen. I'm short Aussie yen. And as I mentioned, this trade is at break even. So the stop is already at break even. And the stop is, I'm going to remove this black line, this red line, because the stop is basically here. Yeah, so that's where we're at. And this target has been removed. We hit that target. Half the position was removed when we hit that target. So now our next target is 86.65. We'll see if we get there. I do have to hold on. As part of my strategy, I definitely need to be willing to hold on for some bigger gains. So I took half off here. Now it's a question of am I stops at break even? So let's see if we can get that bigger gain here. Okay. Now, those two are break even, so I've removed my risk that I took on Kiwi dollar and euro and Aussie yen, so hopefully they'll go in my favor. Now we have a euro pound position. Okay, and this one, my euro pound position is slightly in the money at the moment. It just got filled like minutes ago, like right before we started this call. So hit this black line right now. It bounced off that. That's too early to say anything conclusively. So not moving the stop on this. Basically just got filled, and also just got filled, which means we probably won't be moving the stop. Is pound dollar. Yeah, so this is an order to go long, just got filled, slightly in the money now, but we'll see. Targeting 6,600, and the stop's at 6,190. That's all fine. That's all good and well. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, so basically that's where the trades are at the moment. I have a 0.5% that I can still risk. Let's see if there's any other opportunities that we want to take a risk on. Speculate on, I should say. Okay, Euro Australian dollar. We had talked about this before. I still would prefer to hold out until the market can fall to this support level here. Big day down yesterday for the euro. Let's see what happens today. Euro pound or Euro Canada. Okay, now some people may like this because we broke out of the channel and now we are testing the top of the channel again. I need to see a little more evidence. I really want to see it fall to 48.10, as I've noted before. So we'll see. It might still get there. We'll see. And on one hand, though, I'm long. Well, we'll see if the euro continues falling. I am short euro pound, so that would favor a short euro, at least relative to the pound. Okay. Euro pound, euro yen. Nothing yet. Definitely want to see that fall to 134.84. And even then, the way the yen has been behaving of late, it may be time to short. I may be more interested. I don't know. The yen is confusing me a little bit. We'll see. There's a clear analysis. The only thing I have on at the moment is short Aussie yen, which is in my favor, and the stops at break even at the moment. Okay, euro kiwi. Yeah, so huge rally in the New Zealand dollar yesterday. Let's extend this a bit and extend it the other way a little bit. Okay, still in the middle of this range though, so I don't want to do much of anything at this point. Euro US dollar. Okay. We had talked about going long this pair. Now, basically, I still find this to be a little, it looks like the market's consolidating here while we're in this triangle pattern of sorts is forming, or at least you have a downward trend line and you have numerous upward trend lines that go back a while. Some might call this a pennant or so, whatever pattern you want to call it. In any event, I'd rather see it break out of this pattern than trade something else, and I felt much more comfortable with pound dollar, like we discussed yesterday. So nothing on the euro just yet. I think that the main things I'm looking at for the euro are whether euro Aussie and euro Canada can continue pulling back a little more, and to a lesser extent euro yen. Pound Aussie. Okay, I still want to see that pullback. We did have a little bit of pullback. If we can go to 79.60, that'd be great. Same analysis as Euro Aussie. Are we going to see the same on Pound Canada? Okay. This is interesting. Canadian dollar really rallying now, making up for lost time after collapsing before. With this type of collapse, I mean, look, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4. This is now our 5th straight down day in Pound Canada. Who knows when it could stop? It could keep going. It might go all the way down to this black line here, maybe further. Who knows? But let's wait to see. I think this will be a good opportunity to buy at some point. because often after a collapse like this, the market will be exhausted. There'll be a trading range, and those are my favorite. When you have a clear accumulation pattern going on, that's my favorite time to buy. If all these terms are unclear, definitely we have a bunch of material on Informed Trades. See our supply and demand course, one of our most popular courses on Informed Trades, as something you may like. Okay. Pound Canada, pound Swiss. Okay. Pound Swiss. Yeah, that is still declining. We're still on this channel of sorts. A little choppy. I'm going to stay away from pound Swiss at this time. Need the analysis. It's too choppy, and I don't really see the levels as clearly as I'd like. Pound yen. Okay, this is also falling sharply. The sharp downtrend in the pound that we were seeing now makes me a little concerned about my pound dollar trade, in which I'm long. But we'll see. Also, my short euro pound trade, which is implicitly long pound. But we'll see. At least pound versus yen. Pound yen, pound Canada. The momentum is clearly bearish. Pound Kiwi. Okay, this is also bearish. Now we're at a, level of sorts that I identified previously at that dotted line. And in hindsight, I had talked about shorting here, which would have been a great trade in hindsight, but I'm glad I didn't because I still see the argument for an uptrend. I am interested in buying, especially if we can fall to 195.43. I think that could be an interesting level to buy at. Depends. We'll see the price action there, but I'm actually going to move this line down. Yeah, if we can fall to here, then we're going to have a 200 exponential moving average, have some of these trend lines here. Extend that right. Just want to extend these trend lines. Extend right. Let's make them a little thinner also. Not that thin. Okay. So that gives us an idea. If we can fall in that range, especially at this black line here, and 200 exponential moving average, might be an interesting opportunity to go long. We'll see. At this point, though, nothing. Pound US dollar. Okay, this just got filled. We'll see. So I'd put the entry order after this candle yesterday, which is a setup I really like to see, hammer off support basically. This down candle isn't the best price action. Ideally would have came back filled and gone back up. But let's see how the New York session plays out. Okay, so we looked at the euro pairs, look at the pound pairs, no real action at this time. Let's go to dollar. Dollar Canada. Yeah, Canadian dollar. So after losing so much value, I talked about this before. After losing so much value, sharp deceleration is now gaining that right back. So you're going to have lots of volatility. Whenever the market accelerates, there's a sharp, a really steep curve in one direction, it can just easily turn and curve back just as fast, which sets up great opportunities both ways. If you start seeing curving up once, that's where it's going to go parabolic. And I think I'm going to start trading those types of setups. I've shied away from counter trend setups, but when we see this type of parabolic price action, or almost parabolic, and then you start seeing reversal signs, I think you can end up getting a really nice gain. So those who are short or long Canadian dollar, short dollar CAD, short pound CAD, I think there's some good gains that are coming, that are already in process, and will continue until there are any signs to the contrary. Okay, dollar Swiss. Okay, nothing here at this time. Maybe if we can. Price is now above the 50 simple moving average, so we'll see where this goes. This also relates to so we had some consolidation, a reduction in volatility on euro dollar, and we're seeing the same thing on dollar Swiss. It's mirror. There's going to be a breakout at some point, but I'd prefer to stay away while it's in this holding pattern of sorts. Okay, so that's dollar Swiss, dollar yen. Okay. This may have, it's interesting to see this, because now I'm tempted to go long a bit, um, but we'll see. I think I would rather see if it can close above 101.30 at bare minimum, before placing a long order on dollar yen. Right now it's a little choppy. Let's see if we can close above 101.30 at that black level, this black line here. At this point, we're getting closer. I do like to see that range, but we'll see if it can go on a little longer. I'm in no rush, especially since I have a short Aussie yen position. So the yen has been confusing me of late. I'm no, if it's a good technical setup, I'll take it, but I'm in no rush. I definitely want to wait for my setup. Okay. Oh, dollar Singapore. That's what I want to look at. Dollar Singapore. Okay, huge decline in this yesterday, and today we have our doji pattern. Is it an opportunity to enter? That is the question. Um, let's see, actually, I do see a price channel of sorts. I don't know how meaningful that is, but that's something. I just don't think we've had enough of a pullback yet. So if we draw, especially if you look at the 50% Fibonacci from, let's delete this one. That's a major Fibonacci. Well, I won't delete it. There we go. Okay, I still would like to see it fall a little more, or let's see at the at the bare minimum. Let's see, especially if we get a couple days in a range here, I could be persuaded. So I'll keep an eye out for dollar Singapore. Um, let's see. I think definitely a couple. If we can get a couple days in a range, and we can get close to the bottom of this price channel, 50 simple moving average continue rising, maybe meets us there, and we're near this support level. I could see that being an interesting opportunity. We'll see. At this point, though, I'd prefer to wait on dollar Singapore. So that's about it for dollar Singapore. Some interest here, especially on dollar Singapore, but no action to take just yet, at least not for me. Canada Swiss. Okay. These are some reversal candlesticks here. So price could be heading down right after hitting this, testing the bottom of the price channel here. So that's something that a lot of traders like. Personally, I've mentioned this before. For me, horizontal lines trump diagonal ones. So I'd much rather see if it can go up to 82.33. Some traders will feel comfortable on a retest, break out of the channel, then you're going to have a retest of it. And when you see that being defended, especially which is sort of symbolized or expressed by these candlesticks, that might be enough for some traders. And I definitely understand that logic. I'd like to see a little more if we can go to 82.30. So I'll pass on Canada Swiss. Canada yen. Okay, and this is I had gotten stopped out on my long Canada yen trade two times actually. Went long here, went long here, stopped out both times. This one just hit my stop and then immediately reversed, although now it seems to be backing and filling in a range of sorts here. But I'm still staying away from Canada yen. If anything, I'd like to see it rally a whole bunch and short, and then maybe rally to 93, and that might be a short opportunity. But we'll see. Canada yen is definitely looking bearish to me, which is, the currencies are, in a way, it seems to be losing some of their correlations. I feel like, and this has been mentioned before, but it's increasingly important to analyze each currency on their own. I still value correlations. I mentioned that yesterday, but it's not the be-all, end-all. And I will go long Canadian dollar one currency and short it against another currency if the technicals warrant that. Okay. Of course, it is always nice to see, the same currency being confirmed because there still is some correlation. Um, but I think it's important to analyze each one on an individual basis. So that's Canada yen. That does it for the Canada pairs. Let's go to the Australian dollar pairs. Australian Canada. Okay. This is interesting. Now we could be shorting, okay, shorting Aussie Canada. We are now at the top of the range. I had mentioned this yesterday as a potential trade. Let's see if there's, I've jotted this down as something to come back to. Let's see if there's something else. Aussie Swiss. Okay, that still needs to wait a little bit. Aussie Yen we already looked at earlier at the start here. I have a position here. And today's a down day, which is good because I'm short. Aussie Yen are good for me. Aussie Kiwi. Okay. This is also interesting to see this, rally here, and then we have this is a reversal candlestick after yesterday. So it tested 109, and the bears came in and shot it right back down. That is an interesting short. I'm also going to put that down, and we'll come back to maybe I'll short both of them. I do have the risk tolerance for it. So we'll see. I'm a little reluctant to short both of them at this time just because I feel like it goes back to that issue of correlation. Aussie dollar. Okay, I'm at the 50 simple moving average here after a big rally. Okay. Of these pairs, this is really interesting. I think Aussie dollar is probably the one I won't short. Let me actually move this up a little bit. That's interesting. Well, and I take that back. Where are we here? Okay. Okay. So, So I'm definitely going to be shorting putting one order to short the Australian dollar. It's a question of which pair is it against. Okay, so I could short against U.S. dollar. To me, that's we're at the 50-cent moving average. We pulled back to 61.8 at a support level. Aussie Canada. Okay. And Aussie Kiwi. Okay, this is let's look at the 4-hour chart on Aussie Kiwi. Okay. I think I found a something that will make me feel a little comfortable with shorting 2 Australian dollar pairs. Okay, I will short Euro Kiwi at 109.08. Let's move this black line as it becomes the new target, bare minimum target. Well, not bare minimum. We'll see. Make this green. Okay, so we are looking for about 350 pips, and really the market should not go. We're going to risk about 100 pips. Really, the market should not really go here. Yeah, so this is 103, and we're looking to gain over 300. So this is a good 3-to-1 setup here. Okay, so we'll short Aussie New Zealand. And let me see Aussie CAD again. Range bound. Yeah, I just don't like. The reason I wanted to check this out again is because the Canadian dollar is rallying so much, which would be bearish. That's another thing that's supporting the idea of a short Aussie CAD trade. However, I'm much more interested and much more comfortable still with swing trading. The idea of you have a clear trend and then you're buying the dips and selling the rallies within that trend. To me, this is a clear downtrend. We now have a sufficient pullback. There might even be a channel on this. Is there? Yeah, you could say. So loose idea of a channel here. Um, I'm not a huge fan of channels. I think they're kind of useful as a guiding light to add some structure to your view of the market. But basically, my implication or what I'm drawing from my conclusion, I should say, from this channel here is that we've pulled back sufficiently in this trend. So now there's a downtrend. Some people may view this as, and we saw this earlier with I think it was Canada Swiss, where if you expect this trend to be over, you might say it's going to test the top of this channel here and then go higher, and then from that perspective, you may want to buy, put an entry order to buy at the top of the channel here. That's not what I'm anticipating here. I think this is, the channels aren't perfect, so I think it's just broke out momentarily, but I think the breaking out of the top and touching the top signals that we've had a sufficient pullback within this trend. So I'm going to short Aussie dollar here. Where will the entry order be placed? Actually, to get the entry order, let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so we can put the entry order right here. And this is the stop is going to be probably right around there, which is like 112 pips away. Is that too far? And then we can target. Okay, target the bottom. Yeah, this is just trying to. Okay, I think we could target right. Let's actually zoom out a little bit. Go to a 5-year. Okay, here's a weekly. Let's see. Let's go to the daily. This isn't that useful. Okay. Well, let's add a horizontal line. Okay, so that's at and that would give us, if we enter at 89.30, 85, exit 85.70. Make that green. Okay, so this would give us a target of 330 plus 30, 360. Okay, so we're risking 112 to get 360. That's a little over 3 to 1. I'll take that on Aussie dollar. So we're going to short Aussie dollar and short Aussie Kiwi. Right, that was the other pair that we looked at. Let's just go back to that one more time. Right. Okay. So those are the two trades that will be placed. Now let's just on the Australian dollar. Let's just review the New Zealand dollar in case there are any opportunities that we want to take here. New Zealand Canada, no, still need more of a pullback. New Zealand Swiss, a little choppy in the middle of the range. You know, once we can, if we can touch the top or bottom of that range, that might be interesting. New Zealand yen. Okay, so this did rally, which is interesting because you know I've been thrown off by the yen. Had a couple losers with the yen. Now I'm short Aussie yen, which is in the money, but we'll see on that. Still got a ways to go. But it's interesting that New Zealand yen rallied. Yen's been all over the place. So we'll see. I'm kind of staying away from until I get a really nice setup that I like. Aside from my short Aussie yen trade, which is already at break even. Stops break even. And New Zealand dollar, this one is in the money after the big rally overnight. We'll see if it can continue. Still hasn't touched a profit target yet. Okay. One last thing I want to check out is Aussie Swiss. Okay, yeah, this is still. There might be an opportunity here, but it's got to pull back at least another 120 pips before to this black line before we can really consider anything. So to recap, two orders we placed. One is Aussie New Zealand. And the other one is short Aussie dollar. I'll have both these trades posted on my blog on InformedTrades.com, where you can ask questions. If there's any questions you have on this, anything you want to add, join us at InformedTrades.com. Thanks and best of luck in your trading.